Strolling down the weed line in the sun, a lure at my shotgun.
All right, guys, so in this film, this short segment, we're going to stay talking about mahi fishing and preparation, right? So to keep it simple, you have a very short window of opportunity with mahi. Yesterday we're fishing, we're sword fishing, we're hanging out on a floating object out in the middle of the Gulf Stream. What does that mean? There's the opportunity for mahi just to swim up because we are a floating object. Now, when we're sitting there as a mate on a boat, preparation-wise, during the course of a swordfish trip, we know that there's the ability for mahi to swim up. So we have dolphin rods or mahi rods ready to go. Well, you'll notice that we have, a lot of times we'll have a jig rod. I don't know where it went, right behind you, Nick. Let me see that real quick. So this is a jig rod that we usually keep. Captain Mark loves a pink jig. I think it's probably a Spro jig, something like that. Guys, there's millions of jigs on the market, and probably all of them will be pretty good for dolphin. The only thing that you'd want to have going, understand that it's got a little weight to it. If you see a board while I'm sword fishing and the board is 100 yards away and I got a half-ounce jig, I can't really reach it. So you want something with some weight, a couple-ounce jig that you have on the boat. So at a distance, because we can't go off the swordfish path, I want to throw something a long way. Make sure you got a heavy jig with you. Sometimes we put a piece of bonita, sometimes we put a little piece of squid on it, and that way at least it's got a little piece of bait. That being said, when we're sitting there prepping, because I know they're going to swim up, a couple things I see. Some guys are more comfortable having a spinning rod that has a hook on it, okay? Now in this instance right now, I have a 40-pound leader right here and a spinning rod, and basically it's a wind-on system. There's no swivel, there's no snap swivel. So what happens when we start to land dolphin? As we're landing dolphin, there's only a couple things. As I observe the fish having my dehooker, when I have a dehooker and I'm looking at this at the dolphin's mouth, if I can see the hook, I feel like I have a chance. So my dehooker is the best thing that I can use. I take a wrap, I find the hook, and then basically we dehook the dolphin, we shake them off. I can put a bait on here in a wonderful world and throw it over, and we're fishing again. But here's the truth of it. For most guys, they're not quick enough, and you have a game, this is a game of seconds. So for simplicity, here's what I'm gonna tell you. If I have a spot out in the cockpit where I have a couple of rigs ready to go, I've got my little 6.0, could be a tarpon hook, could be a 3407, whatever it might be, whatever your hook of choice is, piece of 40 or 50 pound with a loop on the end. Some guys keep it on a yo-yo, some guys keep it right on a reel in the cockpit. But I know if I have backup sitting here, there's a couple things that I need you to think about. When you have seconds to do things, I'm gonna grab this from you, Jeff. This is a rig. You've got a really small snap swivel there at the end, okay? And when I was fishing commercially with mahis, we didn't even dehook fish. We dealt with leaders. So there's a loop on my leader, there's a small hook, and this leader is short enough for me to cast at a distance. If this is too long, it becomes a problem. When we put a fish in the boat, we simply undid the snap swivel. We were done with that one. That one's in the box. At the end of the day, I pull that off. I grab the next one, I put it on, I'm already fishing again. I don't have to retie, I don't have to grab my cutters, I don't have to tie a knot. No, put the dolphin in the boat, undo your snap, grab the next snap, boom, here you go. We're fishing, it's on, give me a bait, I got a fish on. I just did that in 5 seconds. So understand, when you are struggling with mahi and you're trying to cut and tie hooks, takes way too long at times. Especially try tying when you have mahi slime. So for us, a simple snap swivel, again, perfection loop, surgeon's loop on the rig, 40 or 50 pound. When you catch a fish and put it in the boat, don't even try to get the hook out. Snap is open, it's off, grab a new rig, grab the loop, put the loop on, I'm fishing again. And to me, that's the game. We're trying to catch every mahi that we see behind the boat. But if I don't have the hooks out here or the proper ingredients to do that, or the rods rigged, it's not going to work for you, and you're going to lose the school. You're going to catch the first two, and then especially in sword fishing, remember, we're not mahi fishing. We're sword fishing with a byproduct of mahi. So I'm sitting here and I need to keep them at the boat. So a couple things too, you guys who are going with frozen ballyhoo and frozen chunks, on your first drift, when the mahi swim up to you, frozen chunks are doing you no good. I'll say that again, frozen chunks are doing you no good. So make sure everything's thawed out and ready to go. Again, it's a game of inches, steps, and seconds. Have your rigs ready to go. Have a snap swivel if it makes it easier for you. If you're a guy who wants to de-hook and start cutting and tying knots and doing all that while you've got mahi around the boat, that's on you. And if that system works for you, that's wonderful. But just another thing, tip and technique for mahi fishing.